Hey everybody, this is Geneva of Geneva's Closet Talk Show. Please make sure you like and share this video and subscribe to Geneva's Closet if you haven't already done so right here on YouTube. And you can follow me on Facebook at Geneva's Closet. And you can email me at genevascloset22@gmail.com. Now, let's get into the news. Shout out to my closet secret that sent me this article yesterday, and this is coming from medicalkidnap.com, and it says, Charity Lewis took to social media earlier this month, July 2019, to tell her story of how Kentucky CPS kidnapped her special needs daughter because they did not think she was capable enough to take care of her, and now she is dead. She died while in the custody of the state of Kentucky and her foster home. Charity's video on Facebook has been viewed more than 1 million times at the time of publication of this story. Now I am reading from a GoFundMe page that Charity wrote for her daughter, Demaya. So please excuse if I make any mistakes because I'm trying to read it. And I know when she wrote it, she had to been emotional. And it says, this is my story. My 6-year-old special needs daughter, Demaya, was taken to the pediatrician September 21st, 2018, because she wasn't looking too well. The pediatrician examined Demaya and said she was okay, but I know my child and I knew she wasn't okay. On September 22nd, 2018, I personally rushed Demaya to the ER. Tests were done on Demaya and the results came back showing Demaya was having heart failure. Child Protective Services were called when Demaya was being discharged from the hospital, and I didn't understand why. When the caseworker arrived, I was told they were called because they felt like I was neglecting Demaya. Lord knows that was not the case. The caseworker told me she didn't feel no need to take Demaya. She just wanted to do a home visit every now and then. I was okay with that due to the fact that I know I take care of all of my children, and I make sure I give Demaya her medication every day. The next day, I received a phone call from a new caseworker. She asked me, can she stop by to take a look at my home to see where Demaya sleeps. I had no problem with letting her come by because my home was nice and clean like always. The caseworker walked through my home and seen nothing was wrong. After she walked through my home and found nothing wrong, she then stepped out on my front porch and made a phone call. She was whispering. I found that very suspicious. She walked back into my home and told me she was temporarily taking my children. I started to cry and asked her why. She told me that she felt like Demaya was being neglected. The caseworker and the state of Kentucky accused me of my daughter being born with special needs. This broke my heart completely. Demaya was born with cleft lip and palate, growth deficiency, excuse me because I'm pretty good, I'm sure I'm going to say these words wrong, so I'm going to just put them up there, coloboma in both eyes, hypoparathyroidism with she also had a heart murmur and was on multiple medications she had to take for the rest of her life to keep her alive. I never drank or did drugs while I was pregnant with Demaya. I made sure I gave Demaya her medication every day. Demaya was never supposed to have been taken off of her medications. On her visits, I was told Demaya was no longer needed to see a cardiologist and she was doing 100% better and was taken off of her heart medicine. But every time I seen Demaya, she looked worse than I had seen her before. Demaya's lips were very cracked and blistered. Her cheeks were extremely red due to dehydration. Her hair was matted to her head. Her eyes were runny and full of crust. She also had strep throat because I could smell it on her breath. Demaya's face was covered with scratches and she had bruises on her arm. Demaya never had a coat on in the winter and her clothes was never up to par. My baby was being neglected by her foster mom. I gave Demaya a cup of water and she drank it in a split second. I complained about my daughter's condition and it was documented. I have all the documents for every visit I had with Demaya. I brought Demaya shoes and clothes to take with her that I never seen her wear. Every time I seen Demaya, she was looking worse than before, and her breathing was also heavy and she was also limp. I knew something was wrong. I knew something was going on in the home Demaya was placed in. I was never told the woman's name that was caring for my daughter. They wouldn't tell me for some reason. I found that very frightening. I was scared for my daughter's life. Demaya was taken from me in September. I only seen Demaya 7 times. I was supposed to visit with her every 2 weeks, and then it changed to once a month. The foster mother kept pushing the days back, and I kept asking, why is she doing this? I even called Child Protective Services for help, but they wouldn't help me. My child was in danger. I felt it. The last day I seen Demaya was May 15th, 2019, a day after my birthday. I made promises to my baby. I told her that she was going to come home and everything was going to be okay. And then on July 1st, 2019, I received the news that my baby had passed away. She was gone. The state of Kentucky took my baby away from me. They let these people abuse my baby and did nothing. The state of Kentucky stole my baby from me. In the middle of all of this, I learned that there were no paperwork filed and my daughter was kidnapped. She illegally was taken from me. They claimed they didn't know where Demaya was placed. The caseworker who was responsible for this was fired. They fired her but couldn't give me back Demaya. They seen my baby as a check. These people sold my baby. They told me she was perfectly fine 2 days before she passed away, and they lied. I also gave them an option before all of this happened to send Demaya to her grandmother that lived in Illinois, and they agreed they were going to fly her out. They also told Demaya's grandmother that I will be getting Demaya back on my next court date, which was July 17th, 2019. My daughter's birthday is July 30th. She was supposed to be turning 7 years old, but the state of Kentucky won't let me even view my daughter's body. They are trying to hide what they have done to my baby. I knew something wasn't right. That's why her visiting days were pushed back. My heart is broken. I can't sleep. I want justice for my baby. She didn't deserve this. Demaya, mommy got you. I'm going to make sure you rest peacefully as long as I live.
Chest is aching, it's pounding. I don't know how to feel. Like, I wouldn't wish this pain on nobody.
And it's fucked up that a lot of people that wish that on my baby. Now y'all showing sympathy.
Like, I'm waiting on people to come in because I need to tell my story. Like, I'm nervous. Ain't never been on live before.
You got this.
Like,
you're gonna be nervous.
Like this.
You talking about like this your baby. This is
like, I don't know what to feel. Like, right now, I really don't know what to feel. Like, my body's shaking. I didn't expect this to happen to me. Like, and I promised to God, like, I don't wish this pain on no other parent. Like, I don't wish this pain on no other parent. I didn't ask for none of this. She didn't ask for none of this. I thought me taking my baby to the emergency room because she was sick was helping her. Whole time,
it was fine to take my baby.
It didn't help. Like, they took my baby away from me. They promised me that she would be back in my arms. She was supposed to be back in my arms July 17th. Like, I don't know. Like, that's my firstborn. When I had my child, I didn't expect her to come out with all these medical complications. Like, I got pregnant with her at 18 years old. I was a senior in high school. Like, it took a toll on me. Like, when I'm nervous. I'm just so nervous. Like, when I had Demaya, my life changed. I used to call her my blessing every day. I sit down and talk to my baby when I had nobody else to talk to. And me moving to Kentucky was the worst mistake of my life. I didn't expect this to happen. I did not expect this to happen. I didn't expect one day to wake up and my daughter would not be in my arms anymore. I didn't see my daughter. I did not see my daughter since May 15th. My birthday is May 14th. In my last visit, I promised Demaya that I was gonna get her back and she was gonna be happy again because she didn't deserve this. But it happened. Like, my nightmare began September 22nd. That's when I rushed her to the emergency room. Because the day before, I took her to a pediatrician because she wasn't looking too good to me. Like, I know my child. I look at my child and I could tell when she's sick. My baby was nonverbal, but mommy understood her. Like, I understood everything. I don't care what it was. Like, I knew what was wrong with her. But I knew something wasn't right with my baby. Like, she wasn't herself. She didn't get out the bed. I had to go get her. Like, I had to make Maya get, like, come on, Maya, let's get up. She wouldn't get up, so I knew, like, she wasn't feeling good. So I took her to her pediatrician, what was that, September 21st. Mm-hmm. And he told me, like, she doesn't look bad. Everything is fine. She probably has a little cold. She'll get over it. I said, no, this got to be more than a cold because my baby's not breathing right. She ain't breathing right and she ain't looking right. He said, well, if you feel that way, take her to the emergency room. Took her to the emergency room. They made it seem like it was my fault. They looked at her. They're like, what's wrong? I'm like, well, my baby she's sick. She's not herself. How do you know? How could you let your child get this sick? You know your child could have died. And like, when I came to the emergency room, like, I didn't know what was wrong with Demaya. I just really did not know until, like, a couple days passed. They ran tests on her, and they told me, like, she had heart failure. That broke my heart. That broke my heart because my baby's 6 years old. She's 6 years old. She's the sweetest baby you could have ever met. Like, anybody that meets Demaya falls in love with Demaya. Like, Demaya was everything to me. Like, she was everything to me. Like, my world revolved around Demaya. There was times I had to sit in the hospital. I sat in the hospital for a month straight. My daughter was in a coma for 2 weeks. This was when she was first born. In a coma for 2 weeks. I ain't washed my ass. And I don't know how long. I sat with my baby. I wouldn't leave for nothing in the world. Like, I did not leave. And I was young at that time, too. Like, everybody else my age had their kids that were out doing that. I was with my baby in the hospital every day. Like, every day. And for them to try to say it's my fault and try to tell me it's my fault that my baby was having heart failure, that broke my heart because I fought myself every day when they told me that. Like, is this really my fault? Like, what did I do wrong? Like, or what could I have done right to help my baby? But I guess, I don't know. Like, they felt like her being away from me, like, was better, or like she would be loved more. Like, nobody loves my baby like I love my baby. I love my baby with my whole soul. I pray to God every day. I would tell Maya every day, like, if I could switch with you, Demaya, I would switch places with you, baby. I want to feel your pain. I wanted to know what my baby was going through every day. Like, it was times where my baby would be sick and I wouldn't sleep at all because I'm sitting right on the side of her bed. Didn't get any sleep because I'm watching my baby sleep. Any false move or her breathing wrong, I'm there. I'm there. Like, I was always there with Maya, and I felt like I failed my baby because I was not there with her. My baby was missing me. She was missing me. And I knew she was missing me because every time I seen my baby, her head would be down. Her face would be like, I knew my baby wasn't happy. But when she saw her mama, her face lit up. Her face lit up, bro. Like, this is so hard for me because I didn't expect this to be so soon. Like, I'm not, like, this is so hard for me. Like, my life is like, I haven't been myself since July 1st. I've been crying every day. And then, like, I was so scared to speak and to tell my story. Like, when they called me, they like, your daughter, we have some news about your child. I'm like, about which child? Because they took all 3 of my kids out of my home for no reason at all. And it was Sherry Decker. Like, I wish I never met her. I wish I never met her a day in my life. I wish I never met her. I wish I never let her in my home. She came in my home. She walked through my home. I let that bad energy in my home. And I should have not let her in my home. But me thinking I was doing the right thing by my daughter, taking her to the doctor because she needed the care. She needed medical care. it was the worst mistake. Like, it's not the worst mistake for me taking her, like, because I don't regret taking my baby to the doctor at all. No matter, I don't care what nobody say. They can say, oh, they're not going to take your kids because for nothing. They have to have proper cause. Well, this story, they took my baby for nothing. They took my baby for nothing. They literally snatched my baby out of my arms. They snatched her from me. And I know y'all want to know, like, why did she get took? She got taken away because I took my daughter to the emergency room September 22nd, 2018. Took us there. They did tests. They said she had heart failure. She was having heart failure, going through heart failure. And they told me I'll be able to take her home. They told me I'll be able to take her home. The day I was supposed to take Demaya home, a caseworker came in. I had paperwork. A caseworker came in the room and told me that she didn't feel the need to take my daughter out of my home. And that was the first caseworker I got. Hold on, because I got everything. I got this whole folder. I was doing my research. I did not feel like my baby did not deserve none of this. I got this paper from the caseworker saying that Demaya was going home with me. That was fine. So I'll go home, get her some clothes, bring her back up to the hospital so that she can come home. I get a call. It's another caseworker. And she said, "Hi, I'm Sherry Decker, and do you mind if I do a home visit?" Mind you, my house is always clean, always clean, always got food. My kids don't never need for anything. She came in my home. She questioned me. I told her everything. I told her off bat, like, Demaya was born with cleft lip, cleft palate. Like, I didn't know Demaya had anything, like any other medical conditions until Demaya started getting up in age. So, like, it's like every year Demaya turned another age, I learned, like, my daughter got something else is wrong with her. But yeah, Demaya was on like several medications. And I gave it to her daily. I gave it to her every day. Didn't miss a beat at all. And I told the caseworker, like, I did everything I had to do. And when she was like, because first of all, when she sat on my couch, she sat there and I knew she didn't give a fuck. I'm sorry, excuse my language. She did not care for me. She didn't care for me. She didn't care for my kids. Because when she talked to me, she told me, well, I just need to see the list of see Demaya prescription bottles. I give her all of my baby's prescriptions, every prescription. She like, well, I have to step on the porch. Do you mind if I step on the porch and talk to my supervisor to see what my supervisor want to do? She go on the porch. She's whispering. I didn't hear. She was whispering. I'm standing at the door like what's going on? I'm looking out the window. She's still there. She's whispering. She finally come back in and tells me, well, we have to, we're going to temporarily remove your kids from your home. I said, for what? You have no reason to remove any of my kids. She like, well, we feel like Demaya was being neglected, so we have to take all of them. Fine. But it didn't go it didn't go that easy. It was a fight. Me and my kids were like, I took my kids and I was literally about to be on the run with my kids. I had all my kids until they found me. I have no idea on how they found me. They found me. Like, how did y'all find me? So I was forced to give my kids up, to hand them over to Sherry Decker. I handed my kids over. The next day, I called Sherry Decker phone, kid you not, like 20 times. No response. I left voicemails. No response. Demaya's grandmother, her dad's mom, she was working with me. She was there with me every step of the way. She was there with me, and I appreciate her so much because we fought for Demaya. Demaya, grandma would try to contact Sherry. Sherry wouldn't reply to none of our emails, text messages, calls, no nothing. And it was months that went by, like 3 months went by. I didn't hear from a caseworker at all. But they set up visitations for me to see my baby. But yeah, I had to pay like $30 an hour to see her. $30 an hour to see my child that was supposed to be temporarily removed. This was only supposed to be a temporary thing. This was only supposed to be a temporary thing. They left me with a light, like, man, this is like, I am hurt forever. Like, no words can help me. Nothing nobody can say can help me. But when Sherry Decker didn't respond to me, out of the blue, 3 months later, like I said, 3 months later, out of the blue, a new caseworker calls me. She says, I'm your new caseworker. I said, what happened to Sherry Decker? Didn't tell me. She just said, well, don't worry about Sherry Decker. I'm your new caseworker, basically. So I'm like, okay. She texted me one day and said, where are your kids? Do you know the address where your kids are? I said, y'all mean to tell me y'all took my kids from me and don't know where y'all placed them? That's when she told me. She texted me, and I had the text message. I didn't delete anything. She texted me and said, I'm sorry, but the last caseworker you had didn't file any paperwork. No paperwork was filed properly. So I'm trying to fix everything in a timely manner. I'm sorry for your frustrations, is what she told me. I didn't say anything to her. I called my lawyer. My lawyer was confused. Because every time we went to and I knew something wasn't right, because when we went to our first court date, the judge was confused. The judge said she didn't have any paperwork on stand. She was like, why are these people here? Why do they all have them here? Sherry Decker in there making up a whole story about, oh, we feel like they're neglected, or they don't go to the doctor, or I take my kids to the doctor. Demai see the doctor every 6 months. They're up to date on all their shots. I have paper. I have proof. Like, they made me do everything. I went through so much, like, having to work. I still had to go to work. Like, they took my kids. I still had to work and provide. Like, I had to make sure I kept a home, like a roof over their head. So when I got them back, that nobody could say anything. Like, they had nothing to say to me. I have a job. House. I'm not on no government assistance. None. I pay out of pocket with everything. I pay cash for food. I pay cash to go see a doctor. I pay cash for everything. Then they looked at me like I just don't know. Like, they looked at me like, well, she's a young black girl. She don't need this child. She don't know how to take care of no special needs, baby. Baby, I've been taking care of her for 6 years. My baby didn't pass away until she was in their care. I didn't even see my baby until last time I saw my baby, like I said, was May 15th. I was begging them to let me see my baby. I said I would drive to go see Demaya. I don't mind driving to go see Demaya. She's 2 hours away from me. I don't mind to go see her. They was like, well, we're gonna set up a day so you can go see her. I was supposed to see Demaya July 10th at her doctor's appointment because I had to go through medical training in order to get her back. I had to go through medical training. I did everything else. I went through psychiatric evaluations because they thought something was wrong with me, because I went crazy because they were taking my kids away from me. I had to go through drug evaluations because they thought I was on drugs. They thought I was on drugs. They cut my hair. I had to do everything. And I did everything back on the 17th. They called me on the 1st, telling me she passed away. And I had to set up funeral arrangements. For my baby. And then I asked him, I said, what was the cause of death? Heart failure. And that broke my heart more because that's the main reason. When I took her to the doctor, that was what was wrong with her. I took her to the doctor. And I saved my baby life because I took her to the doctor because I knew something was wrong with her. Like, I knew something was wrong with Demaya. And for y'all to tell me she died for the same reason y'all took her from me, it makes me feel so bad. Like, why didn't I speak? Like, why didn't I say more? I complained. I made so many complaints. One day I seen my daughter at a visit. She was so dehydrated. So dehydrated. Her cheeks was red. Her lips was peeling. Her hair was matted down to her head. Her clothes was not up to par. I asked the people, I said, did they bring a cup so I could give my baby some water? They like, well, foster mom didn't leave a cup. I had to give my baby some water out of a coffee cup. She drank that water so fast. I felt like she needed more because she was so dehydrated. She was so dehydrated. And every time I would see Demaya, she'll have scratches on her face, scratches on her arm. Like, what did y'all do to my baby? That's all I want to know. Like, y'all say y'all found her, foster mom found her unresponsive. I know you didn't let her go to sleep. I know you did not let her go to sleep knowing she was not well. I could look at my baby and tell she was not well. I know for a fact, she saw that Demaya was not well. You let her sleep. You let her go to sleep on her own. You let her sleep. And you say they said she went to wake Demaya up. Demaya was unresponsive. They told me my baby had a heart. They told me my baby had a pulse. But when the ambulance came and they brought Demaya to the doctor, Demaya passed away. My baby was suffering, and I told them she was suffering. Every day I did not feel right. Like my family would call me. My sister would call me and be like, I don't feel right about Demaya. You think Demaya's okay? I try my best not to think like, I try to keep a positive mind that my baby is safe. She's safe. Nothing's wrong with her. She's safe. I was wrong. I should have went with my gut feeling, my mother intuition. Like, I knew my baby wasn't. I knew she was not. I knew she wasn't. Like, I don't know. And all the negative people saying it's your fault she got taken. It's not my fault. It's my fault because I took my baby to the doctor to get help. It's not my fault. And then y'all bashing me at the time where I don't need the negative energy. Like, I don't know how to deal with this. I'm sitting up here setting up for a funeral. I don't know how to set up for a funeral. I didn't plan on setting up no funeral right now. Like, I planned on my kids burying me, not me burying my kids. I spent 9 months carrying this child. I spent 6 years loving on her. They took her away from me. I didn't get enough time to love her. I didn't get to love her more than I should have. I wanted to love on her more. They took that away from me. I wanted to love on her so. I wanted to love on my baby more. Like, I feel like I broke my promise to my daughter because I swear to you, Maya, I promised her. I said, Maya, you're going to be back happy with mommy. But before then, me and Maya used to sit down. We'd be playing. Our energy was off. I hated Kentucky. And I used to tell Maya, like, we going to leave Kentucky. Give mommy time. We going to leave Kentucky. I'm going to find us a nice home. We going to leave Kentucky. We going to be happy again. We going to be happy. We're not going to be in Kentucky no more. We're not going to be out here. I don't have family out here. I'm here by myself. And that's when I think that they got a kick out of that. Like, she's down here by herself. I'm by myself. Take care of my kids. I'm by myself. Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, and nothing can bring Demaya back. Nothing can bring her back. And all I'm stuck with memories. I always used to think about the future. I always said to Demaya, I can't wait till you become 16 to see. Like, I can't wait, Maya. I can't wait. And now I gotta bury my baby. Like, I'm not trying to cry. It's just my emotions. I've been this way since Monday. Non-stop. I've been crying. 1 minute I'm happy. Next minute I'm thinking about Demaya. And by me standing in this house, my house, like, I look around and I think, like, I remember Maya was right here doing this. I remember Maya was right here doing that. Her room, her brother and sister don't go, they go straight to Demaya bed. They don't sleep nowhere else but Demaya bed. I take them out of Demaya bed, put them in their bed. They back in Demaya bed. Like, they miss their sister too. And I would never let them forget their sister. Maya will forever live on. Oh my God, like, my baby was 6. She was gonna be 7 years old July 30th. I had so much, like, oh my goodness, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do no more. Like, I really don't know what to do. Like I'm not myself. Like, look at me. Like, I don't care. Like, I just want my baby voice to be heard. I want justice for my baby. Because I know for a fact they were mistreating her, and they let my baby suffer. They let her suffer. They let her suffer. Oh my God, like, they let her suffer. That's why I sit here and I wonder, like, what was her last moments like? Like, what was she doing? Like, what was she thinking about? Was she scared? Was she scared? Is she scared now? Like, I can't help my baby. Like, I can't help my baby. Like, I can't help her. And I wanted to so bad. Like, and I told Demaya, like, Demaya, you're going to be back with your mama. We're going to be happy again, baby. We're going to be happy again. And they failed me. They failed her. They failed her. They took her out of my home because they felt she would be better somewhere else. Look at her now. She's not here no more. I'll never see my baby smile. That was the beautifulest smile. Like, she was just so perfect to me. I don't care what nobody say. My baby was perfect to me. She was so pretty to me. Like, that is my baby. That is my baby. I'm not going to say that was my baby. That is my baby. That's my baby. I don't know what to do no more. Like, I just want to love on her some more. Like, I just want to love on her some more. I don't know. Like this is crazy. Like, it's crazy they failed my baby. They so racist out here. Like, they are racist out here. They are so racist. And I don't know, like, I had so many signs to leave. I should have just, I did not go with my son. Like, God was giving me so many signs to leave. And I was ignoring him. Whole time, my baby's suffering. Like, like, this was no place for me or Demaya to be. This was no place for me or Demaya to be. And the fact that her daddy can't see her one last time, or can't even get a kiss out of Maya or a hug from Demaya.
Wow. Ain't that something? Usually when we're talking about these type of situations in CPS, we're trying to figure out why they didn't come take the children out the home. Where was CPS and DCFS? Why they didn't go and check on the children like they were supposed to? Like in the Brittany Bowen situation and the Malia Davis. With all the incidents that happened with Malia Davis, we were trying to figure out where were they at? Why did they not remove Malia from the home? And then if they would have, maybe this wouldn't have happened. Maybe she would not have died. But in this particular situation with Charity Lewis and her daughter Demaya, CPS should not have even been there. They should have left Demaya alone. In this particular situation, Charity is saying that her daughter was perfectly fine, that she was doing a great job of taking care of her daughter, and when there was a problem, she took her daughter to the hospital to figure out what was going on. And they came and removed her, then didn't even know where they put her, then she ended up dying. I don't know if you paid attention when I was when the pictures was up to this posting that was on Charity Lewis' page on her Facebook page, but it said, additionally, when CPS informed mom of her daughter's passing on July 1st, 2019, they denied her request to view her body at the hospital. So they denied the mother's request to see her daughter's body. Sadly, Charity did not see her daughter for 8 long days, and that was on July 9th, 2019 at the funeral home. So that's the first time she seen her daughter was at the funeral home. Okay, and then it says at the funeral home, Charity discovered that despite her request for an autopsy to be done and a toxicology report, can you believe the Child Protective Services knowingly had all of Demaya's organs removed and embalmed her body without the mom's consent, which prevents her daughter from obtaining an autopsy? Rubbish. I didn't even know that they can do that. But I just guess that's that whole government thing, and the system can just snatch your child away from you. Let me say this. First of all, when I was looking at Charity talk and express herself. You can believe, since I talk about these cases and stuff all the time with Genevas Closett, the first person I thought of was Brittany Bowens and Malia Davis, because we remember Brittany Bowens damn near didn't shed a tear. We said that was phony the way she handled that. I actually believe Charity Lewis. I believe that that could actually happen. Now, I know contrary to popular belief, we tend to say that we be looking for CPS and DCFS to come and rescue these kids. But the fact that they can't even do that part of their job correctly just lets you know that they are totally off. So there is a chance that CPS, the government, the system that we always say is off and messed up, can actually come and snatch a child from your home that was better off in the home. And then in this case, the baby end up dying. This is also coming from medicalkidnap.com, and I found this article to be pretty interesting. And it says, whistleblowers reveal CPS child kidnappings in Kentucky adoption business. And it says, according to Bowles investigations, family, victims, attorneys, social workers, and officials described, I guess, the Kentucky Youth Advocate system as quick trigger child removal with no proof of parental wrongdoing, threats and retaliation against those who fight back, fast track adoptions for federal adoption reimbursements, requests for white babies, abuse of power, falsified document, lies in court, workers' pressure to boost adoption numbers. And then it goes on to say, as a result of Ball's investigations, KYA, which is Kentucky Youth Advocate, and National Institute on Children and Families, Inc., collaborated on a 95-page report released in 2006 called The Other Kentucky Lottery, Child Protection for Abused and Neglected Children in Kentucky in 2005. And it says, through KYA's email and telephone hotline, 255 families, social workers, and other professionals responded from around the state, concluding that families contacted by DCBS played a game of chance based on whether or not they received a dedicated and trained social worker who helped the family with resources, or if they received a social worker who was hateful and treated the family in deplorable, discriminatory, and punitive ways, or if they even received a social worker with a degree at all in social work. And that's crazy, since not all DCBS caseworkers are degreed social workers. Did you know that? Well, if you didn't, you done found out today. And it says the study reveals some astonishing findings. Let's go over just a few of them. It says 11% of children were removed for abuse, whereas 34.2 were removed from their homes due to allegations of dependency, which is a child without a caretaker, or 42.6% for neglect, meaning lack of food, clothing, or shelter, suggesting that poverty and lack of parenting skills were the main reasons children were removed from their homes. Okay, let's go on. It says 21% increase in children placed in more expensive out-of-home care, like foster care, psychiatric facilities, and private residential facilities, instead of utilizing family preservation programs and kinship care programs. Then it also says, because DCBS works two case plans simultaneously, reunification and adoption, children may be steered towards adoption instead of reunifying the child with his family, because services are not delivered to the families and the goals set for the families may be unrealistic. Social workers complained of excessive paperwork, low morale, high turnover rates, and inherent dangers in CPS work, and punitive action taken against good social workers. Then it also says federal adoption funds may have incentivized the state to fast-track adoptions, since Kentucky received a $1,074,000, what? Okay, a lot over $1 million bonus in 2004 for increasing its adoption numbers from the previous year. Okay, I'm done talking, people. I want to know how you feel about everything that you've seen on this video. And while you're letting me know, could you please like and share this video and subscribe to Genevas Closett if you haven't already done so right here on YouTube. And you can follow me on Facebook at Genevas Closett. And you can email me at genevascloset22@gmail.com. You all have a fabulous day, and I will talk to you later. Bye.